Let's start with our gusseted thumb, and we're all ready to begin picking up the stitches to start knitting. Now here's what I like to do. There's always an issue of gaps that happen at the joins here. Now first off, you know what? If there's a gap, I have absolutely no trouble taking my extra little piece of yarn and frankly going in and tightening it up later. But it is nice if you can help that not happen at the very beginning. Here's what I do. Remember that you had 2 stitches that were here when you were going around and around and around doing your gusset, okay? So you kind of have a opening, a spread between this stitch that's being held by the yarn and this stitch that's being held by the yarn, okay? And you have to make a bridge here to connect. Here's what I do. I automatically assume I've got, the 2 stitches that were here being worked when I was going around and around. I go into the bottom, one of them, and there's no real right way. You're just trying to make it tight. So I might go into here, and then the next thing I might do is pick up the stitch that's a half of one of the knit stitches that's next to it. And then right here at this join that tends to get a little iffy, okay, I might, look, if I pick up, let's say, I don't know, like that. Look at that big, huge kind of hole that ends up forming. That's not what you want to do. Pick up something that will make everybody a little tighter. Look at that. I picked up 3 stitches. Pick up as many stitches as you need to make that tight. It doesn't matter. You're going to be decreasing anyway, okay? And at this stage, when you're feeling like you've got a good, solid connection, then go in and start taking the stitches that are being held on the cotton. And what I do is I pick up half of those, okay, because we are still going to be using our magic loop. I've just changed it to a 24-inch long cable, and so it'll be easier with fewer stitches to go around and round. Anyway, I pick up about half of the stitches. I can adjust this later, okay? Then I pull this out and I come back as though, kind of turn my work around, and I continue picking up the stitches until I get to the join, that bridge area again. And once I am at the bridge area, basically you start knitting around and around and around until your thumb knitting equals, probably the very base of your thumbnail. Maybe, actually, I'm changing my mind. Let's do it about at your knuckle, your big thumb knuckle, okay? Then we're going to begin the decreasing. Now look, as I've come around here, I want to, again, pick up things. See, if I pick up that strand, I end up with a big, huge, awkward hole. That's not what I want to do. I want to pick up something that is going to keep that from happening. Maybe, see, it just kind of depends. Look, that's going to be nice and neat and tight when I knit back around, and then I'm going to pick up this stitch here. Basically, I ended up doing the same thing, about 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and then, see, look, this should look very familiar. This is just your circle. So I want you to knit it around until you get to the base, about your knuckle here, okay? Then we'll start doing some decreasing for your thumb. All right, I got so excited about starting to knit round and round on my thumb, I completely forgot to tell you how to actually start doing that. All right, what you've done is you've taken your needles and you've picked up the stitches around. Fine, that's great, but now what happens? Here's the thing, it's just like you were doing a magic loop, only a tiny version. So, see, this is the back half of your stitches, the front half. If you think about it, this is the top of that opening for your gusset and the bottom of the opening for your gusset. All looks familiar. And in this case, you're going to pull the needle out and turn it. Little smaller circumference, but that's fine because you have so few needles. And just as though you were starting afresh, you've got your yarn And your little tail hanging out here. You might want to make it longer in case you do want to go through and fix up any gaps or do any strengthening. So this might be a case you want to make kind of a long tail. And all you do is go through and knit just like normal. Go to the end, pull your needles, turn your work. Oh, and you want to take the yarn out at some point. You can take it out now. You can knit a whole round through if you want. So you know you're comfortable. Doesn't matter. I just took mine out now. But you can tell I am so excited about finishing these mittens for you. I keep forgetting crucial details. Anyway, you can take the yarn out, obviously, and you knit around. And let's try one more time. I will see you when you put your mitten on and that thumb opening comes to about the knuckle. And then, hopefully I will have calmed down and I can explain to you how to do the decreasing.